Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Florine Rajendran. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines.
President holds bilateral talks with Thai Prime Minister. Police Commission appoints 3-member committee to investigate attack on students. Suspect in alleged assassination attempt on Maldivian president arrested in Dehiwala. Heavy rains continue, spill gates of 5 reservoirs opened. 2016 budget to lay out plan to raise 2,000 billion rupees in tax revenue.
President Maithripala Sirisena, who is on an official visit to Thailand, called on the Prime Minister of Thailand, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, today.
The bilateral discussions were held at the Thailand Prime Minister's official residence. President Sirisena was welcomed with a guard of honor before sitting down for bilateral talks today. The President's visit to Thailand was undertaken with the aim of enhancing bilateral cooperation between the two countries in areas of economics, politics, culture, religion and tourism. The President's media unit notes that the Prime Minister of Thailand commended the renewed political vision of the President and the concept of a government of coexistence in Sri Lanka. The President requested the Thai government to grant an opportunity for Sri Lankan intellectuals to conduct research and to gather experience in Thailand. The President's media unit said that attention was drawn towards increasing the frequency of flights between Sri Lanka and Thailand in order to boost the tourism sector. Meanwhile, the exposition of the sacred relic from the Mahayanganu Rajma Vihara commenced at the Kundamatham temple under the auspices of the leaders of the two countries. The Mahasangha of the two countries conducted religious observances.
The Minister of University Education and Highways, Lakshman Kiriyalla, says that the HNDA students' demonstration in Colombo last week, which was violently dispersed by the police, was organised with a political agenda. Meanwhile, the National Police Commission says an independent 3-member committee is conducting investigations into the actions of the police.
The Acting Inspector General of Police, Pujit Jayasundara, and the DIG in charge of the Colombo district, Gamini Mathurata, were summoned to the National Police Commission today. N.R. Dasakure, the Commission Secretary, noted that they were summoned to provide statements for the investigation into the actions taken by the police to disperse the student protest in Colombo last week.
A 3-member committee comprising of senior administrative officials has been appointed to investigate the matter and furnish a report. We are expecting clarification on 2 points. If any police officer has been responsible for a breach of discipline, then we will take disciplinary action in line with the various provisions made in the establishment code, and we are hoping this will be a preliminary investigative report. We will instruct the committee to study the incident in full and provide recommendations to prevent the recurrence of such incidents. The Police Commission will take a decision, that is all.
Meanwhile, the Inter-University Students' Federation lodged a complaint with the Police Commission today. The group of IUSF representatives later arrived at the Human Rights Commission and lodged a complaint on behalf of the students who were assaulted. Demonstrations were held in several areas today as well, protesting against the actions of the police.
We were going for talks after various agitations conducted over the past 540 days. At the time, they said clearly that the minister was inside. The police went inside and 10 minutes later they returned to inform us that there was no one inside and that we could discuss it with the secretary. They said the minister was at a Maganaguma meeting. We rejected the proposal of talks with the secretary. While there are myriad of grave issues in the education sector, he is going for meetings at the Highways Ministry.
Were you aware that the protesting HNDA students were headed to the ministry?
Not at all. Truly, I was not aware.
Were you aware of their demand prior to this?
In truth, the Ministry of Higher Education took a position on behalf of these students. We have said clearly that Circular 46/90 must be enforced, and we recommended this to the Ministry of Public Administration. The students never asked me for a meeting.
On the day of the incident, you issued a media release which said that you had engaged in discussions that morning and that you had agreed to all demands.
How can it be two different stories? You may see it that way, but it is not. On the morning of the incident, I held discussions with the ministry secretaries, the Director General and the directors of the institute from 9 a.m. till around 12:30. We instructed the Director General to provide for all the demands made by the students.
They say that you had granted them a meeting and that you had gone for a Maganagma meeting instead.
It is a baseless lie. I was at the Highways Ministry, but we were discussing matters under the Education Ministry.
Can you entangle the job of resurfacing roads and mixing concrete with the Education Ministry? Do these two subjects suit each other?
It is under the government. Students need not undertake the tasks of the government. Ministerial positions are decided by the Prime Minister and the President.
Are you saying that there was a political connection here?
This is being done by persons who cannot get representation in Parliament.
Wasn't there a promise that a meeting with the minister would be granted?
When we went there, it was the police that intervened.
The minister says that you are engaged in a political program at present together with the IUSF.
This was not done in line with any political agenda. We categorically reject that accusation. We have asked the University Grants Commission to inform us if they accept the HNDA diploma as being equal to a degree. We can take steps accordingly. The UGC has not informed us as yet. Actually, on the 5th of this month, we will be recruiting a number of HNDA diplomats as development officers.
HNDA diploma කරපුවාට සංවර්ධනධාරීන් විදියට කොටසක් අපි බඳවා ගන්න කටයුතු කරනවා.
Speaking at an event held today, Minister Sajid Premadasa commented on the actions of the police when dispersing students at last week's demonstration.
A section of officers gave their solution recently. We are looking into whether they are still conspiring to use state power to bring the good governance government into disrepute. We say clearly to these officers that as a government, His Excellency the President, the Honourable Prime Minister and all cabinet ministers vehemently condemned the attack on the students. This is not our culture. This was the culture of the previous government. That culture is not relevant to us. The minister who inspected model villages being constructed in Tissapura, Tissa Maharama also presented land deeds and concessionary housing loans to 25.
We're hungry, and the Lords are off to England to watch rugby.
Speaking at a rally held in Matugama last evening, the leader of the Democratic Party, Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, had this to say.
I too faced a problem. I did not stay at General's house on Bauddha Lokamawata. The ceiling is wooden, and when there is a threat, you cannot stay there. I lived in a 3-bedroom house belonging to the army, which was 60 years old. I was there for 3 years and several months. We reinforced the ceiling in my bedroom with concrete. That cost 50,000 rupees. But that bunker has cost $33 million. In truth, it could have been built for about $1 million. They have pocketed $32 million from the bunker project too. I think we need to look to the future. It is useless to spend any more time on the Rajapaksas. The Rajapaksas are finished.
Western Provincial Councillor Upali Kodikara, who was granted bail in the case pertaining to obstructing police duties, appeared in court today.
The Western Provincial Councillor has been charged with obstructing police officers outside the offices of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into serious acts of fraud and corruption on the 16th of October. When the case was taken up before Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Pilapiti today, the charge sheet was presented to the defendant Upali Kodikara and further hearings were postponed to the 18th of January. Certain media had stated that I knelt and begged for forgiveness. I have not sought forgiveness. I made a statement noting my disappointment. I will complain to the Police Commission and the Human Rights Commission and seek damages amounting to 500 million rupees for the insults levelled at me. There is no censorship of the media for me.
Right, okay, thank you.
Meanwhile, Rohit Bogollagama, a former foreign minister, also appeared before the Colombo Chief Magistrate's Court today in connection with the alleged misuse of state funds to take up lodging at a hotel during an overseas trip during his tenure as minister. The court acquiesced today to a request made by the ex-minister to release his passport from court custody in order for him to travel overseas. A trial has not been set as yet. I am innocent in all of this. We do not think for a moment that a hotel bill could lead to such an issue. I have great faith in the court.
The news just in Iran, Rana Singh alias SF Loco, who is currently being held under detention orders in connection with planning the murder of karate champion Vasantha Souza, had released a video on social media website prior to his arrest. While we do not condone the views expressed herein, we are broadcasting this video with the solitary intention of keeping the public informed. Darshad?
Nandri Jail. அனுராதபுரத்தில் கராத்தே வீரர் வசந்த் சொய்சா கொலை செய்யப்பட்டமை தொடர்பில் கைது செய்யப்பட்டு விசாரணைக்கு உட்படுத்தப்பட்டு வருகின்ற இரோன் ரணசிங்க தாம் கைது செய்யப்படுவதற்கு முன்பது தமது Facebook பக்கத்திலே இவ்வாறு கருத்து வெளியிட்டிருந்தார். கிஹான்
සුදී ප්‍රසාද් අනුරාධපුර කරාතේ සූර වසන්ත සොයිසා ඝාතනය සැලසුම් කළ බවට සැකපිට රැඳවුම් නියෝග මත ප්‍රශ්න කරන ඉරෝන් රණසිංහ නැමැත්තා අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීමට පෙර ඔහුගේ Facebook පිටුවේ ප්‍රකාශයක් ප්‍රසිද්ධියට පත් කර තිබුණා.
කවදාවත් වසන්ත සොයිසා මරන්න කියලා කවුරුත් ප්ලෑන් කරලා හිටියේ නැහැ. මෙතනට මේ වැඩේ සිද්ධ වෙනකන් අනුරාධපුරේ මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මේ නයිට් ක්ලබ් එක විනාශ කරලා ගිය විදියට අයින් කළා දාන්න. අනේ කවුරුත් මේ මරකන්න නැහැ මම ගියෙත් නැහැ. හොඳ බලදින හොඳ පිරිමි මේ තරුණ පිරිස තමයි මේකට සහභාගී වුණේ. වසන්ත සොයිසාත් එක්ක ගොඩක් හිතවත් මම හිටියේ. මාස 4කට කලින් ඔහු මට පොඩි දෙයක් කරන්න කියලා කිව්වා. මම ඒක බෑ කියලා කිව්වා. ඒ නිසා ඔහු මට අතින් දැම්මා. මම බෝම්බයක් ගහුවා කියලා බෝම්බයක්. එදිනෙන් පස්සේ තමයි ඔය පොඩ වෛරය ඇති වුණේ. ඊට පස්සේ එයා මට පන්න මාව අල්ලන්න එක දේවල් කරා. ගැට්ටිය කරපු අකුසල් වල හැටියට තමයි ගැට්ටිට ඒක පරිසම් දුන්නේ. මම දන්නෙත් නෑ. මම ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා එනකොට එදී අදාළ මනුස්සය වැටලා හිටිය විතරයි දැක්කේ. ඉතින් ඒක කවුද කරේ ගින්ද මන්ද කියලා කවුරුත් දන්නේ නැති. try කරේ අනුරාධපුරට වැඩක් කරන්න කට්ටියත් එකතු වෙලා වැඩේ කරා. අදට සතුටු එල්ලුංග හරි ගත්තත් බය නෑ. ක්ලබ් එක අනුරාධපුරෙන් ආයි වුණා. ආයි මං හිතනවා ක්ලබ් එක ආපහු අනුරාධපුර අරන්නේ නැති වෙයි කියලා. ආයි අරලා තිබ්බත් ආයිත් ආව වගේ දෙයක් වෙනදට කොහොමත් අපි වැටි කරගෙන යනවා.
You're watching Primetime News on MTV. The Anuradhapura Chief Magistrate issued a 24-hour detention order today for police to detain and interrogate Iron Ranasinghe, the chief suspect in the murder of karate champion Vasantha Souza.
Iron Ranasinghe, who is suspected to be the mastermind on the attack on the nightclub in Anuradhapura and the murder of Vasantha Souza, was arrested in Chilau by officers of the Anuradhapura police. The suspect was taken by police today to several locations where swords and other weapons used in the attack were hidden away. In line with information revealed by the suspect, a search operation was conducted in the Vadakadavava area in Shravastipura with the assistance of police divers to locate the sword which was used in the murder. The suspect had also revealed that an axe and clubs that were used in the attack had been hidden in the teak reserve adjacent to the reservoir. However, the police were unable to discover any weapons in that search carried out today. Meanwhile, a woman who had allegedly harbored the suspect and another individual were arrested yesterday and were remanded until the 9th of this month when they were produced before the Anuradhapura Chief Magistrate today.
Minor floods have been reported from several parts of Anuradhapura owing to heavy rains in the area.
Catchment areas of the Kumbichankulama tank in Anuradhapura, including the banks of the Malvatoya, were inundated. As 12 spill gates of the Rajangane reservoir have been opened, the Department of Irrigation has urged those living on the banks of the Kalauya to be vigilant. Those living close to the sacred grounds in Anuradhapura are facing difficulties due to the flood situation caused by the Malvatu Oya breaking its banks. The Zonal Education Office in Anuradhapura has been inundated since yesterday. Director of the Zonal Education Office, Kumuduni Aryavansa, said that the office gets flooded with the slightest rainfall. Due to this, all letters and files on the bottom floor have been moved. When News First inquired from the Chief Minister of the North Central Province, Peshula Jayaratna, on this matter, he said that as the solution to this problem, measures are underway to relocate the office to an area which does not flood. All spill gates of the Upper Kotmale Reservoir have been opened due to the incessant rains. A section of the Madattugama Adiyagala Road in Kakirava has also gone underwater. Residents of the area say that this part of the road goes underwater during the rainy season every year.
The third edition of VITA Awards, organised to recognise, inspire and honour Sri Lanka's volunteers, was launched today. VITA Awards started in 2011 as a collaboration of News First, the National Steering Committee on Volunteerism and UN Volunteers Sri Lanka to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the International Year of Volunteers and to honour individuals who make extraordinary and selfless contribution to society through volunteerism.
And all of us can do great things.
The launch of VITA Awards 2015 was held at the auditorium at the head office of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited in Colombo today. The grand final of the third edition of VITA Awards, a national trilingual 2-hour live TV event, will be held in February 2016 with the executive coordinator of UN Volunteers expected to grace the occasion.
We're also very happy that we are partnering around a common theme of disaster risk reduction and response that we see to reinforce through Sri Lanka's comprehensive disaster risk management. And I understand that the VITA Awards that will be forthcoming, there will be a special prize for disaster risk preparedness.
The Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited has always worked, not always, we are a commercial organisation, but not always with the commercial objective in mind. We've kept the nation first, we've kept fellow Sri Lankans first, and a number of times we've done things which didn't make sense commercially. But they made a lot of sense in terms of the development of the society of which we are a part.
In Sri Lanka, there are people willing to volunteer. There are needy people like disabled, elderly people, and also the widows like that. In future, the volunteerism in Sri Lanka will be a big thing.
So when we got this proposal about 2 years back, we were very delighted because we felt at that time we found something which could drive our purpose. So we were waiting for 2 years for 2015 launch. We will give the full commitment.
Heartfelt thank you to News First team and also congratulate them for developing the concept of VITA Awards. Considering the participation what we saw during the last 2 editions, we are convinced that VITA Awards have inspired more and more people and more people to volunteer to a great extent. Thus, we are convinced that the third edition of VITA Awards will also see even greater enthusiasm.
Witma Kumarage, a finalist of Yes Superstar, serenaded the gathering at the launch event today.
VITA Awards, honoring those who dedicate their lives to the noble cause of serving those in need. Nominations are now being accepted. Call us on 0716 556 556 or log on to www.vitawards.lk.
Welcome back to the news. Finance Minister Ravi Karunanika says the government hopes to earn tax revenue of 2,000 billion rupees in 2016. The minister was speaking at the annual general meeting of the Inland Revenue Commissioners in Colombo today.
We are
hoping to present a unique, radical budget. Our revenue has been declining drastically in comparison with our GDP. This year it will be 10.8%. If this continues, in a few years we will be unable to pay public sector employees wages and pensions to continue to administer the country. I make the kind request that there needs to be innovation here. Our income streams need to be changed. This is why we are going to utilize a new tax regime. I think that for next year, we will have to earn about 2,000 billion rupees. Do not fear. Those who fear are those who do not pay taxes. Who are they? It is the people who have wealth and are able to pay that do not pay their taxes.
Up next is Action TV.
Notice was issued today on the current Secretary of the Ministry of Justice to appear before the Ratnapur High Court on the 24th of November. Notice was issued after considering a motion filed by the AG and the submissions made by the counsel appearing for the aggrieved party, whose complaint provided the premise for the Attorney General's motion. The premise for this motion, which Action TV brought to light on the 25th of October, is that a case report, which had been obtained from the Ratnapur High Court for perusal by the then Justice Minister, had not been returned to the court in more than 6 years. The crime connected to this case report has political connotations. On the 11th of February 1997, a shop in Siripagama, Ratnapura, owned by this individual, was set on fire by 9 persons, including 2 Pradeshia Sabha members, against a backdrop where a wave of violence swept across parts of the Ratnapura district following the murder of MP Nalanda Ellawala. At the time the shop was set on fire, the shop owner was a witness in the court case pertaining to the 1996 assassination of MP Atula Artigala. 6 of the 9 persons who were accused in setting fire to this person's shop are also incidentally the accused in the assassination of MP Atula Artigala. While the case pertaining to the killing of MP Atula Artigala is still before court, the verdict in the case pertaining to the burning down of the shop was handed down on the 29th of July 2008, with all 9 suspects, including the 2 Pradeshia Sabha members, receiving prison terms. While an appeal was filed against the verdict, the 9 convicts were released from prison 11 days later. 97 days later, the Secretary to the Ministry of Justice at the time requested the court to submit the case report for the perusal of the Minister. Action TV highlighted evidence to the fact that the case report in question was sent to the then Justice Ministry Secretary via registered post 18 days after the request was made. In the motion filed today, the Attorney General requests the court to call for a report, since inquiries made on prior occasions regarding the missing case report had not received an appropriate response. Counsel appearing for the aggrieved party noted that since the case report is the property of the court should go beyond calling for a report and order an investigation into the misplacing of the report. While the Justice Minister does have the right to call for case reports for his perusal, given the political affiliations of the Justice Minister at the time and the political affiliations of the accused, there appears to be a conflict of interest. The former Justice Ministry Secretary, who secured the report for the Minister, today holds the position of Solicitor General at the Attorney General's Department.
The final rites of fashion icon Kirti Sri Karunaratne were performed in Colombo today.
Kirti Sri Karunaratne, who excelled in the field of fashion and design for nearly 60 years, passed away last morning at the age of 84. Considered as one of the pioneers in the field of fashion, Kirti Sri Karunaratne designed costumes for several movies and acted in theatre productions. His role in Columbus Sanya as Mr. Nirvastara was one of the most popular roles played by him in cinema. Meanwhile, the final rites of Ina De Silva, who was a veteran in the batik industry, were performed on Saturday. Ina De Silva, the daughter of Sir Richmond Olivihara, who was the first Inspector General of Police of independent Sri Lanka, passed away last Friday at her residence in Olivihara at the age of 93. She was married to late Osman De Silva, who was appointed Inspector General of Police after her father. Ina De Silva is known for single-handedly reviving and recreating the traditional batik industry of Sri Lanka. She is also responsible for initiating the Mathale Heritage Centre as a batik factory in 1964, which is still in operation.
When a child starts...
A ceremony to mark the Cultural Day of the Hindu Society of the Colombo University was held last evening. The ceremony was graced by Bharatiya Janata Party parliamentarian Tarun Vijay.
The basic fact is that our heritage and civilization teaches us to live a life of peace and harmony, to live a life of mutual respect, to live a life of tolerance, to live a life to appreciate other person's viewpoint. That is how a human society can become happier. That is how a human society can become an example for others in this war-torn and tension ridden world. We may have the physical comforts, we may have the infrastructural progress, we may have all sort of materialistic pleasures and glory and progress, but if there is no art, if there is no culture, if there is no memory and the pride for our culture and civilization, for our great ancestors, then that body is like a body of concrete and cement without any life.
Well, that's a wrap of Primetime News here at News First. For the News First team, I'm Florine Rajendran.
And I'm Shen Silva. Take care and good night.